Hey guys, my name is Sanjay. Welcome to the Engineer Wannabe YouTube channel. I'm joined by my friend Keith here, and hopefully a couple of other people. We'll see. Uh, Bobby K mentioned he might be here today, so we'll see. But good to have you, Keith. How are you today?
I'm good. I'm interested in your thumbnail for this show today.
Oh, okay.
The
I
watch
didn't do
these.
it. It's sorry to break your heart. I'll talk about it. I got to spend some quality time with the Explorer, so I'll talk about that.
Yeah, I actually tried on the 36 for the first time like a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
So it's funny, the day I tried it on is when you had your stream about the Explorer.
Okay. So last
Um,
week?
oh, was that last week? Okay.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And so you had your own dilemma. I have different dilemmas over it,
Okay.
but
I'd
yeah,
like to hear
I
them.
thought it was interesting timing. I wish I could have been on, but I was
Y-
busy.
Yeah. No worries. What's on your wrist?
It should be no surprise.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
usually wear this on the weekends, especially if I go out somewhere, which I just got back from. But it's a Seiko SPB 313, the Slim Turtle.
Yeah.
Um,
Looking good.
wear a lot of my
Uh,
other watches during the week, but I don't know. This seems to be the weekend watch lately.
yeah. Um, on my wrist is a recent purchase.
I know you were at the AD today, so
Yeah, I was at the AD. Um, so I can't shake this particular model. Do you have any guesses what it might be? It's kind of a rebuy.
oh, kind of a rebuy. Oh, I mean, the first thing that comes to mind for a rebuy is a Speedy.
Okay, no, not
Hmm,
not that kind of rebuy.
I don't know.
Guys in the chat, uh, well, I'll get to you guys, but
When was the last time? Like, how long ago did you have this watch? Would you say?
end of last year.
Oh, okay, so 2 months or 3 months ago.
Yeah. Guys in the
Okay,
chat, please put in your guesses now. We'll see if any of you get it. But yeah, on my wrist is uh
58.
uh uh uh, uh Tudor.
Oh, Tudor Royal. Someone in the chat guessed it.
Yeah, yeah.
I
So
don't think I'm familiar with that colorway. I don't think I've seen that really.
no, it's a silver dial. I was kind of blown away by it. The silver. I think it's the first time I've seen the actual silver dial. Um,
I mean, it's no two-tone. Let's just say that right now.
no, I saw the silver dial two tone as well. That looks a little trashy.
I guess I was thinking black dial two-tone.
Black dial two tone is nice. I like the black dial two tone, but then I also like the Rolex Explorer two tone. So, um, yeah.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, this is a 34 mil. Huh? Huh?
Oh
It's
wow.
it's it's the
You
small
had the
one.
38 before, right?
Yeah,
Both of yours were the 38.
both times before it was the 38. This is the first time I have the 34. So yeah, a lot of people are gonna say it's a lady's watch, but I don't care.
I mean, it looks good on camera on your wrist.
Yeah, yeah, I like the way it looks. I like the way it feels, and hence one of the topics for tonight was having a smaller wrist is actually pretty nice. Because I got a really good deal on this. I was
Oh, okay.
able
Yeah,
to
yeah.
leverage the fact that it's a 34. I've actually been kind of percolating on the fact of owning the 34 mil Royal. So I've been thinking about it for about since December. So for about 3 months, which is kind of long for me. I'm a bit more impulsive than that. Um, and I was thinking, okay, if I do get a 34, I'm gonna have to get a really good deal because I'm gonna get hammered again, kind of like the SBGW 295. I had to really make sure I wanted it.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna get hammered if I try to sell it. I'm gonna lose my shirt. So I got a really good deal, and I was just happy to walk away with it. So 34 mil here to stay, along with the 36 mil Legend Diver and all the other watches that kind of big. So
So, it's It's an integrated bracelet. Those usually wear bigger. How does it wear compared to like your Seiko 34s?
Oh, it wears significantly bigger than a
Okay.
34 mil Seiko. Um, I would if you gave this watch and asked me to guess, I would guess 36.
Okay.
Um, and so the other watch that I did see today was the Explorer, but put a pin on that thought because uh, just gonna say hi to everyone in the chat because we're kind of getting into our discussion. Hey, Mr. Seiko is here.
Good evening.
Bobby K, good to see you, sir. How are you?
Not bad.
That's good. Let's say hi to everyone here. Detroit Spartans here. Good to see you. First place, gold medal. Kevin Hawthorne, how's it going? Underachieving watch collector. Good to see you. Perfect fit for me, says the Explorer. Bill K, good to see you. Sympathy for the bezel. Did he drop some coin on an Explorer? Sorry, no, I didn't. Wilson, how's it going? Rick, good to see you. Marcus F, how's it going, sir? Always had the same issue with Rolex Crystal. You can see every fingerprint. No error coding. Yeah, that was kind of a lazy shot too in the thumbnail. Dan reminding us to spring forward. That
Yeah, I
is
keep
tonight.
forgetting about that.
Yeah, unfortunate time of year.
What do you
Uh,
think as a parent, what do you think's worse? Springing forward or falling back?
springing forward.
Okay. Because I was talking to my
Um,
brother today who has two kids. He thinks it's worse to fall back
oh
because they
yeah,
still get up an hour. They basically are getting up an hour earlier.
right.
Um,
I'm okay with getting up an hour earlier. Going to bed an hour later,
oh yeah.
that's harder for us because they're yeah, it takes a while for them to wind down. Now it's gonna take longer, which means less time to do stuff around the house, and it's just yeah, I'd rather fall back.
Okay.
I don't know if I said hi to Pale Horse. Pale Horse, hi, Steve. Good to see you. Curtis N. Good to see you. Florida vacation, rocking the Seamaster. Congrats. Hope you're enjoying it. BJ, how's it going? Mez9 is here. Ken, good to see you today. I'm sure I'll see you again next week. Ken was at the AD today, so had a good time. Kevin S, how's it going? Tutor Two Tone says Kevin S. Ooh. KR Joey's here. Ken Spear, good to see you guys. Rick guest Grand Seiko, Sympathy for the Bezel, guest Alpinist. Ken knew what I got. uh, Blackberry 58. Yeah, so the only one who got it was Bobby Legs. Good to see you. The only one who got it was the one who saw me get it. Okay. Curtis saying 34 looks perfect. It does. And Rick says Trashy and Sanji do not mix. I don't know. There's a little bit of overlap, I guess. I'm a little wait. I was gonna say what's the word that I use? I'm a little flamboyant, but at the same time, I know Bobby K. You said I don't think I know what that word means. Right? The
Yeah.
last time I used it.
Yep.
um, yeah, I'm a little eccentric. Maybe that works. Um, what's it saying? I got the bite-sized royal.
Royale with cheese.
Royal with cheese, yeah.
I honestly didn't even know they made it in the 34. So,
Yeah, they even make a 32. That
oh
one's too
wow.
small. uh, yeah, good to see you guys. Rolex is a J, good to see you. Thank you, Bobby Legs, for the congratulations. Hey, Paul's good to see you. Hey, Torin, good to see you. We're in No Date Sub. Congrats on that pickup, Torin. Oh, so exciting. So exciting. Um, Navy Blue Monster asking if anything got whacked for it. Nope. Nope. This was me dipping into the Tudor Pelagos budget. which I'm getting tired of waiting for, actually. Losing the love. Pelagos love.
They don't even have anything in the like, oh, this is for another customer, but you could try it on. Nothing like that.
No.
Wow.
They haven't even seen a Pelagos in like 3 months.
Oh,
At least
wow.
that's what they're
Okay.
telling me.
Okay.
I believe him. One of the 2 worst days of the year for a watch collector, is it?
This springing forward and falling back.
Oh. Unless if you have a GMT. Just let
Yeah, my
all your
Ming
watch.
one handled it okay.
Yeah, that's true.
The jumping hour.
Jumping hour, yeah. Vangel Upal says, "Hi guys, care to share your thoughts on the Snowflake as a new purchase in 2023 and a possible discontinuation?" Ooh, it's a great watch.
Has there been talk of a discontinuation?
I didn't know it would be
Yeah,
discontinued.
I'm not aware of that.
I know they were thinking it was going to get discontinued when the White Birch came out.
Mm.
But yeah, if you love the Snowflake, go for it.
Yeah, I
Great
would
watch.
say watches get discontinued all the time. It could happen to any watch you like.
Yeah,
So, yeah, got to be prepared for that.
absolutely. And even if it does get discontinued, it's going to be around for a while. And you're going to get a good deal for a while, even after discontinuation. Because there's a lot of snowflakes out there.
Not even sure if there's more actual snowflakes in the world or actual Grand Seiko snowflakes in the world.
Been going for a long time.
So many
that's for
Grand
sure.
Seiko snowflakes out there.
Bobby K with the zingers.
So I can't. I forgot. I shouldn't crash GS in this stream.
Oh no, you can.
No, it's a great watch though. I've
Yeah.
seen it. Yeah.
Wears a little big compared to other Grand Seiko models, which tend to wear smaller, but Snowflake seems to wear to size. All right. So I got to see the Explorer today. Got to spend some quality time with the Explorer. And I came out feeling really cold.
Oh, wow.
This was it the 39 or the 36?
36.
Oh, okay.
So it fits perfectly. The thumbnail to this stream is me trying it on. I forgot to back up the photo, so I don't have it on my computer. But it fits perfectly. It wears beautifully. It feels good, but it's just not $8,000.
Yeah.
I was telling Corey, I was chatting with Corey about it not too long ago, and I was thinking, I was feeling the watch, and I was like, I'd pay 6,000 Canadian tops for what I'm feeling right now with this watch, which is what, like 4,000? No, 5,000 US, maybe 4,500 US.
I don't know.
I mean, Rolex is, they've got the brand hype. They can charge what they want pretty much for their watches, and they'll still sell. But as someone who doesn't place a lot of value in the Rolex name, I honestly have no idea why it costs so much. Like, I just don't understand. I don't know if you guys have any contrary thoughts, Keith.
Yeah, I mean,
you tried it recently?
Yeah, I tried it last weekend. I really like it. It fits great. Great everyday watch. I could see me wearing it a lot. But with tax, it's $8,000 US. And I said the same thing. I was like, I don't get it. I don't get why it's so expensive.
Yeah.
So yeah, your dilemma with it was, what else can I buy for the same amount of money? My dilemma is, can I get something significantly that costs significantly less and be just as happy? And I think the answer is yes. I wouldn't look at it at all if it didn't hold its value. But because it holds its value, I think I could justify it more. And I would still love to wear it, don't get me wrong, but it's really hard to justify the price for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Bobby?
But I'd also love to have it, so we'll see which one wins out.
I mean, if someone gave it to me, then I was like, yeah, I'd wear it every day. It feels good. It's a good watch to wear. I could wear it for the rest of my life. Um, but like so for us, it would be 10,000 and change, 10,000 Canadian and change, which is ridiculous. I just I just
Yeah.
can't understand. It's not that good. Um, yeah, I'd pay 6,000 Canadian for it. I'd say it's that good, but yeah, I don't understand. So the tutorial, having held it side by side, I feel this is actually a very comparable feeling watch, feel wise.
Mhm.
The 34 mil tutorial. I mean that's probably sacrilege. Obviously, the movements don't compare. Um, Finishing is probably far better on the Rolex, although actually I don't know. I don't know. Um, yeah, I might disagree with myself there. Uh,
I mean,
finishing
what
is
can you point to on that watch that says, "Oh yeah, this is great finishing here"?
on the Rolex.
Yeah. I mean, it's nice.
It's nice. It's nice.
Yeah.
There's nothing I can point to actually. I mean, the dial was really nice. It was like an inky black dial. Um, uh, yeah, I don't know. There weren't even bevels on the case.
Yeah.
And so yeah, it's a nice watch, perfectly satisfactory. Um, Good looking watch, wears great. I'm sure the movement's great. Um, but you know, feel wise, I I I really like this watch. And the feeling is pretty close. The feeling, not the same watch. I can't swap straps on this. It won't look as good. I can't get a nice 18 mil strap or 19 mil strap, whatever the lug width is, and throw it on this one. But I can on the Explorer and get a variety of different feelings and looks and utility out of that watch. This I can't. It's stuck on the bracelet. That's one thing. But on the bracelet for bracelet, stock watch for stock watch. I think the feeling is similar for me. Um, yeah.
Did you
And
try the Santos on?
no, not yet. I hope to. I hope to very soon. I didn't get to go today though.
I can probably say that you won't say it's going to be boring.
Oh, okay.
um, but
I'm
I can see your
expecting.
point from, it's a well executed watch.
Yeah.
Like it's well, like overall, it's everything is like an 8 out of 10. Like brand recognition, great bracelet. I mean, it's not like an amazing bracelet, but a great bracelet.
Mm.
I agree. It doesn't work. It's not worth 8,000. It's just, but I think you can get a vintage Rolex Explorer for like 6, right? Um, I mean, I think that's value if you're talking about Explorer value.
Yeah. Kevin's saying 5.5 in the
Yeah.
chat, and I've heard that you could get them as low as 5, maybe.
Mm.
But like you're talking, some of those.
Older
You
movement.
could talk
Yeah.
about a 20-year-old watch versus, it's. And there's not that much price difference. I don't know. I mean, it's not like $2,000 is not a lot of money or whatever, but
Well,
it's crazy,
two
how
two
much
grand,
the old
25% for this in this scenario, right? So that's considerable.
Yeah.
You might not have the as good as a bracelet, but you still have a reliable movement. Um, it's like you said, it's a workhorse movement, and again, if you didn't feel it, I mean, that's it's not like something that you like. Oh, you didn't feel. Like the other thing is like a Submariner is how much more than an Explorer? 2,000 more. I feel there's so much more
Yeah.
things to the Submariner than there is to the Explorer.
Mm.
Personally, I would get the Submariner no date than the Explorer.
Yeah, but then it throws out, like for me personally, it
Yep.
throws out the wearability side of things.
Yep. I'm just saying, like the differences. I think both are great watches. I'm not maybe not worth 8,000.
Yeah,
Probably true.
yeah. Dipping into the chat to see what you guys are saying. Juan is here. Good to see you, Juan. Rick saying GS seems to discontinue almost nothing. Yeah, very true. And Rick agreeing about the Explorer, I'm guessing. Dan saying 8K, no way. Kevin says answer is no, Keith. Not sure. I remember the context here. Um, Rick saying you can get a nice 34 millimeter Rolex for 6K Canadian, probably. Yeah, yeah. Colin actually has been showing me a bunch on online, but then they're like from 1996,
Yeah.
and there's a really nice salmon chocolate dial Air King. I really liked it, but it was $3,500 US. I'm sure. Yeah, that's a pretty good price, but it's watch only, no box. 20-year-old watch. I don't know. I don't know. It doesn't give me the warm and fuzzies. Well, yeah, the improvements are significant, I think, with the bracelet and the movement on the Explorer. It's just not 8K significant.
Yeah.
um, a Jay saying Rolexes are forever, therefore they aren't for Sanjay, since nothing is forever for Sanjay. I don't know if Rolexes are forever. Come on now. Kevin saying get a used Explorer one for 5.5K. Yeah. He says it's a great looking iconic watch. Tank tough, will last for probably the best rain in the world, and the watch holds excellent long term value. Can't figure out if it's worth it. Ah,
Does it matter to you how well? I mean, it must matter a little bit how well things hold value because you eventually trade them back in.
yeah.
So the fact that it holds value well, does that kind of, knowing you could get your money back, does that justify it to you?
Well, not as much anymore. So part of what I like to talk about today is settling into a collection. Um, kind of like a lot of the watches I have right now, I really don't want to part with. I know I say that and then I change,
I don't
but
believe you, Sunday. Sorry. That's
yeah,
sorry. Straight up, I'm
that's
gonna say
okay.
that.
But I'm kind of like digging myself into the collection, right? Like with a 34 mil watch and a 36 mil Legend Diver. Um, not
March 11th, 9:22 p.m. I'm just gonna write this down. So,
um, but yeah, I mean only one that I can see leaving is maybe the Sea of Clouds. Um, and even then that would hurt. But I don't know. I, long-term value in the end really doesn't hold too much water for me, because let's say a watch dies like in value, and I'm gonna be thinking, okay, i'm not willing I'm not willing to part with this watch because now it's worth $1,000. It used to be $6,000. um I'm keeping the watch. I and I make my peace with it, because in a sense, when I do buy a watch, i I kind of, like, Pete McConville, not so obvious watches. I think he mentioned one time where when he says he purchases a watch, he pictures the money going into a fire and getting incinerated.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I in a sense do that, but when I feel like I want to move on from something, then I bring the money out of the fire, see how much money is
So
left
it's always in
unburned.
the back of your mind.
Yeah,
So
but at the time of purchase, the money's gone. And
okay.
then I reassess the situation when I feel like I want to move on from something, right? So I'm never thinking that far ahead, and maybe that's not a good thing. But I'm not thinking, okay, 2 years from now, what's this going to be worth? Because I love this watch now, and I'm willing to put the money down now. Say la vie to the money. That rhymed. And 2 years from now, I say I don't want this watch, or I see a watch and I'm like, I really want that watch. What can I do to get this watch? And then I say, okay, if I had to, I could move on from this. I've had this for 2 years. How much is it worth? Oh, it's worth 30% of what I paid for it. Yeah, I'd rather keep the watch then. Or I look at it and go, oh, it's worth exactly what I paid for it. I'll say, okay, well, I'm willing to part with that. So that's kind of how it works inside my head. So long-term value really at the time of purchase is neither here nor there for me. Maybe I should change that, right? Maybe that's not wise. Um, but
I would think about it because again, about like what Keith was saying, the frequency of not frequency, but like you trade it back to your AD, right?
yes, yeah,
So it does have to go, some calculations. I'm not saying
yeah,
Unless you're
and
super rich, then it doesn't matter.
right,
Then you could just have fun and not worry about it.
yeah.
yeah, yeah. That's not me, but
Yeah.
um, with my AD, I think I get a bit more leeway as well with trading in because they try not to completely undercut me, even if the market's not too great. They know that I bring the watch back, so I do have that kind of semi confidence. But at the same time, on the other side of things, I've been actually looking at investments and stuff like that, like actual investments, um, and that got me into like this whole cryptocurrency stuff, like looking at the what's been going on the past 2 3 years, and and people being so confident that something is
Oh yeah.
going to the moon, right?
Yeah, yeah.
um, but then getting eviscerated in value. I'm not saying that'll happen to Rolex, but at the same time, it's speculatory, right? Like you guys will tell me, there's no way Rolex would ever go to zero,
I'm
but
not. I'm not. I'm going to say that Rolex won't go to zero.
no, I know, yeah,
But it might go to near retail. That's happened before.
yeah,
So
but
I wouldn't buy it for just the.
to use a buzzword, we're living in unprecedented times. I
Well,
mean, no, not
yeah.
I'm making light of a pretty bad situation, but um, there is a chance that it'll go below retail,
Yep.
right?
Yep. Yep. And there's
Um,
watches that have been sold below retail as well.
yeah,
Not so long ago, 5, 6 years ago.
yeah,
It's been happening. The Rolexes, Explorers,
right,
below retail.
yeah,
Submariners below, just around that this thing. So it's not recent, like it's not past history.
yeah, yeah. But so my point is, I'm not saying that it'll ever happen. I mean, track record wise, there's a better probability that Rolex would never go down. Um, but whenever now I see, hey, you're never going to lose money on this, I think I kind of look at it a little, uh, how do you know kind of thing. We don't know. We don't.
I mean,
um,
anything's a risk, but it's not like you're putting your entire retirement account into
Yes.
Rolex.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
some portion of some of your savings going into a watch that, you know,
And of all the watches out there, Rolex is probably the most stable.
yeah, yeah,
So that's, if you're playing risk game, like you're not going to buy a Ulysse Nardin at retail
right,
and say, hey, all watches are like similar. Not all watches are, you know, everybody knows. But
yeah,
I would, at this point, if you buy a Rolex at retail, I'm pretty sure, at least for the next couple of years, you're good to keep your money, I feel.
yeah, yeah. And you're probably right. Um, but all that was to kind of say that, to add to the pile of arguments where value isn't a major thing, like residual value for a watch isn't a major consideration for me. I'm not saying that's right. I'm saying that's probably wrong, but it's just
But
my
but the
mindset.
but the most important thing is how you feel about the watch. If you don't like
Yeah,
the watch,
exactly,
don't.
exactly.
Yeah.
So
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 forget
when
about all this residual. Like if you don't like it, if it feels cold on your wrist, that's not
yeah,
an option.
ultimately, you don't sound too jazzed about it.
Yeah.
right, yeah, I
Yeah.
I
So
was when so push coming to shove, if you had to ask me, you know, would you take the Explorer 36? I'd say I was kind of underwhelmed. I
Hmm.
was kind of
okay.
really underwhelmed by the watch, and I am certain that I will be blown away by the Cartier Santos
Okay.
medium.
Again, don't keep
I know,
expectations.
I know.
Just the only time I've ever been blown away by a watch, um, based on its like not knowing that much, was the Moser Green Dragon. I was
Yeah.
like, "Holy, what is this watch? It's completely different. The bracelet's different." It's like I was like, "Wow, this is a good watch."
Yeah.
But other than that, I've never been like mesmerized by a watch based on value. Like, you know,
Yeah. Yeah. I concur. When I saw that watch, I gawked at it for a good 10, 15 minutes. Um, but, going in the chat, Marcus F actually mentioning that you cannot change straps on an Explorer 1 anymore. There's some weird groove in the case which cuts the straps. That I did not know. Hey, Colin's here. Good to see you, Colin. Apologies for what I just said. Um,
was the Explorer the only Rolex you tried on?
no. What, like today?
Yeah.
Marcus actually let me borrow the Explorer 2 Black Dial
Okay.
that he has.
Okay. How do you like the
Um,
Explorer 2?
I'm sorry?
How do you like the Explorer 2?
It's really nice. Wears better than I thought it would. I
Okay.
was like, what's it, 50, 52 lug to lug or something? I was thinking, man, this is gonna eclipse
Mhm.
my wrist, but it wears better than it's not suitable for me, but it does wear better than the numbers suggest.
Which do you like better, the Milgauss or the Rolex Explorer 2?
Milgauss.
Okay.
Milgauss. Yeah.
Might be the Milgauss, might be for you. Like, I mean, I'm not saying that you have to get it. I'm just trying to say, like, of all the Rolex models, it's
Yeah.
the almost, and in my opinion, the most un-Rolexy Rolex, which makes it more interesting.
Yeah. I'd take an Air King 34 at a steep discount. I don't know. I don't know, man. Kevin S saying no strap for Rolex. Agree, Steve. There you go. Hey, Carl Borches, good to see you. Apologies if I mispronounce your name.
I'm going to disagree with that statement too.
Yeah.
It's not what avoid integrated bracelets. I'm pretty sure it depends on the wearer. I mean, again, the Moser Green Dragon, to
Yeah.
example. It's an amazing watch to wear, integrated
Tropic
bracelets.
Antarctique.
Yeah.
Laureato.
Nautilus. I mean, the GP Laureato.
Yeah.
All these watches. I mean, I have 4 of them, so I'm trying to defend that from a personal standpoint.
And, you know, the Royale. It's come and gone in my collection a lot. So yeah, something about it I really like. Some like the older style better on the Explorer. Says Kevin S. Marcus F 6K USD 14270 Explorer 1 are average to poor condition. That is the previous gen, right?
That's like the previous gen, because
Okay.
then after that was the 114270.
Wilson says Sanjay needs a 36 millimeter day date. Call it a day. Yeah, I did that. I go. Actually,
That's around 15 to 18, 15 to 20K. Yeah.
that's it? I thought it was like
36?
40.
No,
40.
well, I'm talking the older generation, the gold ones,
Oh,
real
okay.
gold ones. It's precious metal, right? So it's going to be
Yeah.
expensive.
It has a Cyclops though, so.
Yeah.
Curtis saying, you said you'd probably wear the Explorer the rest of your life though. Where per dollar is pretty good. Yeah, you're right, Curtis. I do understand.
Is it though? Because, like, I mean, you can do the same thing with the Royale for the rest of your
Yeah,
life. Where per wrist is also going to be pretty good.
yeah. It's just I could wear the Explorer for the rest of my life. Doesn't mean that I would. I mean, yeah, it's a great watch. It really is a great watch.
Mhm.
uh, Chaz, good to see you. I'm late. Hope I didn't miss any small wrist. Missed the small wrist segment. No, not really. But I got a 34 mil Tudor Rail. um. So yeah, the small wrist. Well, actually, let me scroll down here to the chat. Um, Kevin S saying not sure all that makes much sense for a guy who trades in and out of watches all the time. Um, yeah, I'm guessing what was I saying at that time?
But you're talking about not caring about value when you buy
Oh,
something.
right. Yeah. But it's true though. I mean,
But his argument is maybe you should think about it.
oh yeah. I probably should. I should think
Yeah.
about
Probably be a good idea.
it. Sanjay burning loonies and toonies so they're still eligible. Yeah. Let's see if I'm missing anything. Kevin says when you keep trading watches with diminishing value, your collection just tends to get worse and worse until you pony up significant money.
That's a point there, because you're in this cycle. You won't understand that you've been putting more and more money into it. But I
Yeah.
guess because like Greg you just said, right now you got the 34 millimeter Royale using the Pelagos money
Mhm.
or the Cartier money. Is there Cartier funds different or same? I'm pretty sure it's the same fund, right?
Yeah.
Same bank account.
I mean, it's not depleted to zero though. So.
Yeah. But I'm just trying to say, if you're trying to trade that in, you're going to still have a, you know what I mean? If you kept the whole thing and went get a Rolex or a Cartier,
Mm.
the percentage decrease, I'm just saying, most likely will be less than the percentage decrease when you trade in the Royale.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. But would I trade in the Royale though? I know. Hey,
Again, I as I said before, I believe that in the not in the near future, in the future you will.
yeah.
But I'm not saying is it this year, next year. It could be years from now. I'm not saying it's just the likelihood. Again, the predictor of future behavior is past behavior. What we say. So,
Yeah.
but again, you've owned a Royal twice now, 3 times.
3 times.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
And you've owned the Speedmaster 3 times? Or
Wait,
2 times?
actually, I've won the Royal 4 times. This is the 4th time because I had the two-tone the first time, then I had the blue dial 38, and then I had the blue dial 38 again, and this is the 34.
You understand why I feel confident saying that you might trade in the Royale again in the future. But
Yeah.
again, you feel it's comfortable watch. That's why you're going back to it, which is a nice thing. I think that's your comfort spot too, is that model.
Yeah. Yeah. Rick, I'm not interested in crypto. Just so you know. Crypto, we need to talk. Yeah. Not even slightly interested in crypto. Yeah, buy Rolex, not crypto. No, I was just learning about the shenanigans that were going on, crazy scams and lack of accountability. Like half these scammers are still out there, Like the FTX thing just happened, right? With Bankman-Fried.
Yep. That guy should go to jail.
Yeah. Let's see. Scrolling back down. I don't think I missed anything. Concept for someone that values tolerances and living so much. I'm surprised Sanjay does not value Rolex more.
I think calling he's saying is that he thinks the Explorer is boring. I think it's not the retaining value part, just on the wrist, the wrist feel, right? I think the wrist presence. How do you say this?
Feel on the wrist.
The feel on the wrist, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, it felt great. It just didn't feel like
it doesn't.
10,000 plus Canadian great. Justin says Sanjay always seemed like a Milgauss guy. I mean, if Rolex does a 34 mil Milgauss,
I agree with it, Justin. Milgauss. Do you have anything against the polished center links on the Milgauss? Okay.
No, I'm okay with PCLs. Sympathy for the bezel says, how does the size of the Explorer 2 compare to the size of a GS Diver?
I would take an Explorer 2 over GS Diver every day of the week. And I'm not a big Rolex guy, but I would take an Explorer 2 over that.
A GS Diver is so much thicker. So
that's the reason why.
Yeah. It would eclipse the Explorer 2 in terms of thickness. And even though the lug to lug is constrained in such a big diver, I think the Explorer 2 would be more comfortable. Unless if the diver is titanium. then the GS titanium diver would be more comfortable. Although the bracelet, that bracelet with the ratcheting mechanism that always pinches skin is not pleasant.
I guess the Explorer 2 is not for you either because it has a Cyclops, right?
Yeah. Kevin says, Sanjay, get a 5-digit Explorer 2. Were much better for you than the newer models around 6 to 7K for those. Yeah, I do. I do like the 5-digit Explorer 2. I haven't seen one though, so I'll have to
I've
look
tried
at
those
one.
on a couple times. They fit really good. Yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So, don't don't get a Rolex. And Kevin says, Sanjay's just not a Rolex guy. That's about it. I mean, if it was 6K Canadian, I'd be a Rolex guy. I would think, yeah. I think the dollars would just measure up more. I don't know. Kevin is saying stick to Grand Seiko. I'm good at that. Yeah, I'll venture out, but Grand Seiko is my comfort food. So, I traded Colin. And did you already trade in a Royale? Traded in 3 Royales.
Would
And a
you
J.
trade this one? I don't know. Would you trade this one?
Would
Of
I?
course you will.
How do you justify buying 4 Royales? I would say, well, the first Royale I traded in because my wife laughed at me every time she saw me wearing it, and it really got to me. After a while, after a few days, actually, I took it back and asked if I could get the regular Royale without the gold. So the two-tone Royale was so egregious in my wife's eyes. Like, she wasn't mad at me or anything, but she just laughed at me, and it wasn't a great
That's a
feeling.
bad sign right there.
Yeah. So I'd be sitting there, reading a book or doing something, and I just hear like that. And I'd look over and be like, yeah, I'm wearing the
Wow,
Royale.
wow, watch shaming right there.
Yeah. So actually, if you go back in Instagram, which I'm not gonna make you do, but I actually did a reaction. Like, I took the watch and I showed it to my wife, and she went, it's like, doesn't look good. Not my take. But so that was the first Royale. That and then the second Royale was me trying to get something else. The third Royale was me putting it towards something else, trying to be budget neutral, as Amin would say. And yeah, this one I thought long and hard about it for a while because it is a 34 mil, and yeah, that's why. Okay, hey, Pete's here. Good to see you. When you buy and sell a watch over and over, what does that mean? Perhaps you want the watch more than you actually want the watch. You want to want the watch more than you actually want the watch. Yeah. A few caveats, but I kind of agree, Pete. I think this time is different, but only because it's a smaller watch and it fits me better. And last time I was kind of not willing to go down the 34 mil route because I was thinking, yeah, I'm kind of digging myself. I'm kind of like disproving myself that I'm not thinking about value, because I was thinking about value when I was picking the 38, right? I was thinking, well, it would be easier for me to sell this if I wanted to get out of it. Anyway, so I was kind of thinking about value there. Thank you, Bobby Lex. No more Royales fund. Very kind. Okay, but main topic, we're 44 minutes in. Sorry. Main topic was I realized kind of what Wilson Wilson mentioned, that he wishes his wrist was smaller so that he could pull off like the smaller watches Colin has been finding for me. At pretty good deals, right? Um And I was thinking, you know what? Historically, it's been pretty good for us with the smaller wristed folk. It was just the 2000s that was kind of hairy, like 2000s and the teens, early teens, right? Um, where things got super big, watches got really big, and you couldn't really buy a watch, um, modern watch, without it looking way too big on a smaller wrist, which is what I found for the most part. And I feel like seeing all these watches and the great deals that are out there, because people tend to want at least 36 to 38 at least, and then up from there. So all these vintage watches, like the amazing Ulysse Nardin that was gifted to me, which is 33 and a half, I think. Um, they're going for insane prices, like really good prices. And I was thinking it's actually been, generally speaking, better for us small wristed folk. Um, and larger wristed folk have not had it too great. Thinking about Muhammad Ali with that really tiny postage stamp on his wrist, the Cartier tank. um, I don't know, Keith. Do you have any thoughts about that?
Well, I think you get the best value out of like a 34 millimeter, and that's smaller than I'm willing to go.
Yeah.
Otherwise, like 36, 38, um, they seem
So
to cost us.
can I ask why you wouldn't want to go 34? Do you just think
I
it's
mean, I've never worn one. I actually almost wore my wife's watch this week, which is 35 millimeters, and that actually wears pretty good, honestly. Um, I've never even owned a 36 millimeter watch. I got one incoming, but we'll see how that goes. But I don't know. Maybe I'd like it. Who knows? Maybe I got to try it out.
yeah. I think so. I think there is a stigma, like when it goes below 36. I think the 36 millimeter watch, generally speaking, is the last size that's considered a men's watch, by the community. Um, but if you're willing to look away from that, and look past the whole stigma of, hey, you're wearing a lady's watch, um, I think the 34 mil is a great size for the 15 to 16 centimeter wristed guys out there.
Yeah, I feel like my sweet spot is 38.
Yeah.
My Ming's 38, my Hamilton's 38, my Citizen's 38. I really like that size. So I don't know. I don't know if I could go that small.
Yeah.
I still think as someone with a small wrist, there's so many watches that I can't wear, that I wouldn't wear, that are too big.
Yeah.
So I still think I mean, there's certain brands that really focus on bigger watches, and then there's other brands that, even like, maybe I've mentioned this before, but Seiko, I could be wrong, but isn't their smallest mechanical diver 40 and a half, the 62 Mas? I don't think they have a smaller mechanical current production model. And
Mm.
Seikos tend to be thick. They tend to be heavier. It'd be nice to have a couple more smaller options for Seiko. Even their dress watches, there's a lot of 38s, there's 39s, there's 40s. So I don't know. I still feel like a bigger wrist than mine, you have a lot more options.
But at the same time, I feel like the tides are kind of changing back. Like, because when I mentioned,
Yeah.
like, the 2000s and the 2010s, things were kind of really big, but now, Seiko has the King Seikos with the 6R31s that are 37 mil.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Um, and a couple of other Presages. They've taken out the ladies' watch designation of the 34 mil, mostly.
Hmm.
So some Presages are out there where, and it feels like, I feel like the tides are somewhat changing. Maybe not to the complete pendulum swing to getting small watches all the time. I don't think that'll ever happen, but I feel like there's coming to a bit of a balance now. Um, I feel it's a good time to have a smaller wrist. Um, I don't know. At least in my world, it seems like it's a good time. Um, I'm trying to think of larger watches that I am like sized out of. Maybe thinking
I
Grand
mean,
Seiko divers.
well, you're not going to say you're sized out of them, because I mean, but there's not, like a Seamaster. What's the smallest? 42.
Yeah.
Um, it'd be nice to have a smaller size of that. The 39 Planet Ocean
Planet Ocean.
works, but
Yeah.
yeah, Omega's one of those other brands that they tend to focus on their even their Aquaterras at 41. I feel like before the different colored 38s came out, those were like the prima, the the better Aquaterras, and the 38s were not as good. I don't know.
They're still like that. Like the 38
Yeah,
still
yeah.
get the lesser movement. Like even with the new dial colors, they don't get the jumping hour hand or
Okay.
yeah. It's still the 8800 or the 8806. If it's a no date, I think it's an
I felt like
8806.
the 41s got better. Like they had the green dial, which I liked. They had the white dial with the orange second, which I thought was cool, and the 38 options were kind of more boring. I don't know. I'm kind of going on, but
No, no, no.
but a lot of brands are kind of like that, where they kind of focus. I don't know. I don't feel like I'm any, but then I hear people with big wrists that say, they don't have, that there's a lot of watches they can't wear. So,
Yeah.
so
Yeah,
in
I'm
conclusion, have a 7-inch wrist and you'll be good.
yeah, 6
Either
and a
way.
3/4 is a
Okay.
sweet spot. I think Almond's wrist is 6 and a 3/4, Bobby Legs' wrist is 6 and a 3/4. Um, Bobby K, your wrist is
Yeah, around like
6.
near 7 inches.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that is a good size. But Bobby K, what do you think? What's your lower limit?
I think probably like it depends on the watch too. So
Yeah.
like the cases, like the Cartier Tank, for example, I need like the extra large or something because it's so tiny. If you just get the large or small because of the dimensions. If you get a square watch or a rectangular watch, just be careful when you wear it. Try it on person, FYI.
Mm,
Round watches, I would say, and then Royal Oak. I think like my sweet spot is between like Keith, I guess, like 38 to 42. I don't
okay.
think I go beyond 42. Neither do I go usually below 38. Even though I've worn the 36 day date, modern one, it's not bad. It's I think I can handle 36 too. The reason why I say the Royal Oak is because of the octagonal structure. It wears bigger. So like a 41 millimeter Royal Oak wears like a 44, 43, and 37 wears like a 39, 40. So it depends on the watch too. Like if you're getting a thicker watch, maybe a smaller size would be better than you usually
Mm,
are. Like if there's a 37 and a half, I think there was a 37 and a half Planet Ocean, older version, if I remember correctly. That probably would be better for me, I guess, because it wears bigger and thicker watch. So, or you had a 38, right? Planet Ocean or 39 Planet
39 and
Ocean.
a half, yeah.
Um, I think I prefer that in the 30s in those scenarios. But if it's a smaller, like a thinner watch, I'd probably go in the 40s. The GP
Mm,
Laureato 42, it, well on my wrist. Again, my wrist is a little flat here as well. So if it's more rounded, I guess it's different. But since it's a little more flat, I like it flat on the wrist. So I like it bigger too. So depends on
yeah.
the watch dimensions, I guess would be the best way of saying it, to consider. Not all watches are created equally. So even for the same wrist.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. 'Cause, even a 34 mil, if it has super stubby lugs,
Mm-hmm.
like really short lugs, it's gonna not
And,
look too great.
and when I was wearing the day date, also is all gold, right?
Yeah.
So it's all heavy. Like you're wearing something. I don't think I could. I mean, I probably could wear the 40 millimeter, but it's just the heft of wearing a
Mm,
37, like a full gold bracelet, heavy precious metal.
yeah.
Um, I probably would rock their 42 millimeter titanium,
Okay.
material, but heft of the thing also is important.
Yeah. Yeah, good point. Keith agrees with you there as well?
Yeah, yeah.
No
Yeah, I actually
triathlon
looked at
needed.
the weight of a 36 day date, and was like, I don't think I could wear that. It's too heavy.
What
Yeah,
is it? Like
I wish I could remember. I'll have to look it up again.
it's got to be near
yeah.
200.
Kevin is saying, 34 mil in a Rolex Oyster case would wear like most 36 mil watches. Yeah. Pete saying, as a guy with an 8-inch wrist, I did not know you had such a big wrist, Pete. I haven't seen a single 38 millimeter or smaller watch I wanted. Small watches tend to be pretty safe retro designs.
Well, it depends too. Like I just mentioned, 37 millimeter Royal Oak.
Mhm.
It's not a safe retro design. It's a classic design. That's time and true. A lot of people wear it. I think less. Again, that's me personally. Less than
Yeah.
36 is just maybe a little more.
So
I
according to
don't
the
know any
Zodiac,
model that is less than 36 that I want.
according to
Sorry.
the Sodinki article, the day date 36 is 174 grams,
Mhm.
and the 40 is 204.
Wow.
Both is too weighty for me.
Yeah. Wow. That's incredible. That's heavier than a 44 mil Planet Ocean.
44 millimeter Planet Ocean with the bracelet.
With the bracelet. Yeah. Ask me how I know.
I know how you do.
Thomas says, I wear lots of vintage watches from the 1940s and 50s, 34 millimeter ish. It was the standard size back then, and I take pleasure in wearing what gentlemen wore back in the day. Yeah. I tend to be a little scrawny wristed than even the gentlemen from back in the day. So I'm happy to be able to. Curtis says, when I put my wife's 33 mil Nomos up to my wrist, I want to get a strap that would fit me. Oh. Which 33 mil Nomos? Like,
Sanjay, what's your preference for size though? Watch size though? I think Keith was mentioning 38, right? I was mentioning 38 to 42. What's yours? Because you said you've worn from 33
yeah,
to
If you're
44.
wearing a non-rotating bezel watch, let's say.
Yeah, that's a good question.
yeah. Preference? Probably like 36.
Okay.
Maybe I could. I don't mind 34s either. So 34, 36. It's pretty good. I'm turning into Theo or Harris, aren't I? Let me undo my top button. Yay, scumbag.
Gold chain.
Gold chain, yeah. He tends to say that a lot. Christian scumbag. I don't know why. Juan says, I believe Seiko has a solar divers at 38 millimeter.
Yeah, I was
I
thinking
think,
mechanical, but they do have a nice solar quartz 38. That one looks nice, actually.
yeah. Bruno says you can get around wearing smaller watch by wearing it on a button strap. Perceives to look bigger. Yeah, but it's also, I find button straps really ugly.
Me too.
No offense to anyone who likes them, but
The only one
whoa,
who
look
can
at
rock
that.
it is Brad Pitt. I think he can rock a brunt strap and look cool, but not many others.
Chaz saying I blame Theo and Harris for this. Wow. And Chaz? We're on the same wavelength, Chaz.
Chaz is a Theo and Harris super fan.
Yes.
He always
That's
thinks
true.
of them.
He's especially a fan of Harris.
Yeah, Theo and Harris historian. Yeah.
Vintage Omega Seamaster 5-hand dial. It's funny. Rolex OP114200 for 5100 at Crown and Caliber.
Yeah, I think that was the blue dial 369.
Oh, okay.
Would
we
you
saw
have
before, but
you? Sorry, keep
no,
going.
go ahead.
No, I was just wondering, has Sanjay ever bought a used watch?
Yes.
Okay, so you're okay with buying a used Rolex? That's my question. Okay.
Yeah.
But it's been a long time, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's been a while actually. I'm trying to think. Oh, I brought the Sea of Clouds was Torrance watch. So
Okay.
not too long ago. But you already had a few scratches on it, so made owning it a bit easier for me. Earl B, pleased to meet you. Hope you're doing well. Uh, heavy. It's heavy to remind you that you're a bad donkey.
No, I need some kind of reminder.
Sanjay to say scumbag. There you go. That's how he talks. You scumbag. Get over here. What kind of accent is that? Is that like a New York accent?
You can put a little Brooklyn to it, you know.
Okay. Yeah. Brooklyn makes sense. Yeah, it's good. I wish I could do that accent. I can't. It's funny. Um. Well, yeah. I think we'll save the next topic for next week maybe. But thank you for the friendly roasting that I got today, guys, in the chat. It was nice. I mean that sincerely. You know, I love you all. So um, I will consider changing my attitude about not looking at residuals, and you know, trying to make something work after the fact. That is not wise, and I admit that's not wise.
Is your wife aware of the strategy? Maybe she
No,
would have something to say.
well, I mean, the thing is though, when you buy anything else, you don't really think about, except for maybe a car, you don't really think about what it's going to be worth later, and I think that's kind of bled into this.
Well, I think anything materialistic, car, house,
Right. Yeah.
things that you're purchasing that are valuable,
That lasts a long time too, right? It's
yeah,
not just, yeah, it's not a
which could be a
consumable.
watch too,
Yeah.
technically.
It's true. It's a bad habit that I have, I guess. But at the same time, it's not completely black and white because, as you saw, I found live on stream that I did actually kind of think of value.
Yeah.
um, so it's still in the back of my mind. It just maybe I push it out too far. So I'll work on that. But guys, do you have anything you'd like to plug for? Oh, Watch Soup tomorrow. We got Watch Soup tomorrow at 9 p.m. on the Bobby Legs YouTube channel. Keith, thoughts?
I got nothing. I enjoyed the first episode back of Watch Soup.
Yeah, that was fun. It was good to chat about videos again. I was thinking we're like the first reaction channel, aren't we? I mean, I'm sure there were reaction channels before, but it's kind of like a reaction, like we're reacting to videos without actually showing the video next to us.
Oh yeah.
You know, we're not doing intellectual property theft. We're actually just talking about the video and getting people to go watch the video. So, Bobby.
I was thinking that you were going to say something in French right now, like something, you know. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I meant to talk a bit about FP Jordan today.
That should be in French tomorrow. Completely French
Yeah.
subject tomorrow.
Yeah. We the story about the elegant is so hilarious because he like it comes off really misogynistic as he's describing it. I was like, oof, you know, I guess he's an old school guy. You know, just like all these ladies, you know, he wasn't talking in English, but they don't,
Yeah,
you know,
FP Jordan as a person is not a great.
he
You're
seems
gonna be
nice.
you're gonna be off the list. You better be careful what you say.
No, I'm just trying to say, like, even for Tommaso, like, I'm just saying, like, you know, it's a harder interview for him than other people.
Yeah, it seems so. But at the same time, he seems.
Oh, you know, he's a genius. Like, I'm
Yeah,
not saying he's a.
but he seems like he could be pleasant, right? Like he could be like a really pleasant individual. But
Yeah.
you know, I could see how the other side could be construed as well. But anyway, yeah, maybe we'll save that for next week as well because it was a funny interview. Just coming from a millennials mindset, I guess, where we get canceled if we talk that way. But anyway, guys, Thank you for joining us tonight. Hope you all have a great evening, and we'll see you tomorrow. Bye, everyone.